time to go. This is an adult show, yeah, this is an adult show. And if you ain't one of them, it's probably time to go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this weird corner of the internet. Except those who are easily offended. People who don't like bad form. People who take life too seriously.
You'll never make it out of here alive.
Anyways, I digress.
Welcome.
Our not at all helpful host, Hickory, the dang and underwhelming. TDAU Live.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm, of course, Hickory, the dank and underwhelming. And welcome back to the show. It's TDAU Live episode 19B. The show could totally use a pardon for season 1. That's right. Reaching out to you, Mr. President Joe Biden, who's totally not falling asleep at all during an African summit, who's totally not making pardons that are unprecedented, and everybody in my social circle locally are totally excusing, like, oh, that's no big deal. He just really cares about his son. Like, yeah, no, he doesn't actually care. You guys just haven't looked into it at all to know why that he would pardon his son for a blanket 11 years, starting 3 years before the crimes you suppose he was pardoning. Yeah, it's an interesting time to be alive in America. Other than that, on a personal level, Team Blue, baby. That's right. I got a quick video to share from personal life that I'm pretty stoked about, not gonna lie. I don't know if I should publicly say I'm as excited as I am, but I'm very, very excited about that. We got some ridiculous stories to get into, including some leftists talking about 10 words I'm banning from my holiday table tier list. We got a bunch of interesting shit I've collected on Twitter in the past couple days. Yeah, the salt mines are open, my friends. If you want to go over there and just harvest some salt for us all. Yeah, it's totally a thing. We might talk about Dubai chocolate. Global trend. It's going to be the next salted caramel, from what I understand. Articles about what came first. China's finally cracked the billion-year-old chicken or egg mystery. Even though I figured that shit out years ago. Not going to lie. We got thumbs down from the beautiful assistant. What's going on? Why do I get a thumbs down right off the bat? I don't know. Oh, because I have a beer on camera. Eminem's mother died. I've been watching a lot of mukbangs. Anyways, that's all I got. We're going to get into the show. Let's do this.
Yeah, back, baby.
Are you saying you want to show me your tits?
This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of a punk, and then all his friends left him, and now he's here alone. This is the story of a drunk who grew up kind of punk, now he's here doing the dang and underwhelming live show.
This is a weird show.
Dang and underwhelming live show. Dang and underwhelming live show. Dang and underwhelming live show.
That's right. Welcome back to TDAU Live, the Dank and Underwhelming show. I'm, of course, Hickory, the dank and underwhelming. Yeah, no. And the beautiful assistant says Team Blue. Thumbs down on Team Blue. Yeah, I feel like I should probably share that one first to not leave anybody out on the exciting news. Let me just full screen this shit. Oh. Yeah, here's the me and the beautiful assistant this past week. This is how it went. I win. Team Blue, baby! Quick repeat for those who are not paying attention. I win. Team Blue, baby! That's right, Team Blue. That's right. Assuming everything goes right, we got some tests coming back next week. We'll decide if everything is like okay or not. But the early testing, which we sent off for, we got from like a Walgreens test. It was interesting. The beautiful assistant had to like scrub her arm and then strap some type of attachment to it that she pressed, and it basically punctured like a perfect circle hole in her arm, and then it drained out into a little vial, and then we sent that vial off. And yeah, early testing saying we're having a boy. That's right. Exciting times, my friends. Not gonna lie. It sounded like I just got a message, but it doesn't look like up in Messenger. Interesting. Let me check over here to make sure everything's okay. Yeah, okay. Anyways. Yeah. That was fun. Team Blue, baby. Anyways, I saw some memes that I wanted to share on the show because they were absolutely hysterical. You've all heard of Alpha on Your Shelf. Get ready for... Yeah, that's right. Critter on a Shitter. That one I'm very excited about. That might be the one we play with our kids. I'm not going to lie. Our kid. This is what a friend sent me. The group chat. The comics... The Vermont Comedy Outlaw group chat still going, even though two of the comics have moved to Florida and Georgia. It's just Pierre and I up here representing, and then the other comic left the group. So 2 out of 4 are the Vermont Comedy Outlaw, or 2 out of 5 are Vermont Comedy Outlaws. 2 out of 5 are Vermont Comedy Outlaws elsewhere. And 1 left the group. But yeah, this is great. My girlfriend said, no more sex in our bed until you put a ring on it. I really hope that she likes it. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It makes me kind of want to do it. This would be a great baby solution. I'm not going to lie. I did think about building a playpen that's like in the shape of an octagon, which would be hysterical because we could make like a custom mat and put random sponsors and stuff on it. That would be great. Because my sister basically has a baby octagon at my parents' house. I was like, that would be awesome. Anyways, other news that's not me, as we normally get into on the show. This one from Andy, on brand. At the Supreme Court hearing on whether it is illegal discrimination to ban medical transition of minors, to be clear, the argument being made is that it's illegal discrimination to prevent people under the age of 18 from receiving gender transition surgery, which by some is referred to as minor mutilation surgery, which it depends on where you are. I feel like this is a spectrum of beliefs here, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of messed up that we would allow people who can't drive, smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, do drugs. To be clear, I as a 37-year-old man, it would be hard for me to walk into a doctor's office and be like, hey, I identify as toxically masculine and I want to hop on like 250 milligrams of test a week. And they'd just be like, no, dude, we're not prescribing you steroids. That's not a thing we're doing. And I'd be like, but that's how I identify. So part of me sad because of that. Because it wouldn't just allow people to be like, yeah. Can you imagine a pro level bodybuilder just being like, I identify as the Olympia champion. I want 10 times the normal dose of test. And then a list of 5 other drugs that are not normally prescribed to people. Or are prescribed, but not in the doses we're talking about. He walks in and he's like, yeah, I want 10 times the normal level of TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. I want 10 times the rate of testosterone. I want 500 milligrams a week of primobolan. I want 50 milligrams a week of Anavar. I want 5 units a day of GH. And they're just like, oh, I'm sorry, sir. We can't do that because that would revoke our medical license. Meanwhile, I have known people who we're born biological women who identify as men, and I like respect that because like why not? I don't care. It doesn't affect me. The only part that really affects me is the fact that they get prescriptions that I can't get. And they get prescriptions of like 200 milligrams of test a week, which for me to get would be like a whole nother level of like, not just like testosterone replacement therapy. Like that's me going on a small cycle. Just to be clear, 200 mgs of test a week is like me being on a very, very, not even mild, a fairly mild dose of steroids. That's the part that bugs me, is that like, if we're going to open it up for everybody. Like let me walk into the doctor's office and be like, hey, I identify as toxic masculine. Throw me on that shit. I'm ready. Let's go. Do my blood work. I've been doing cardio. I've been eating right. Like let's do this, kids. I'm ready to go on 250 plus of tests a week. And they're gonna look at me and be like, dude, you're a full grown adult and your testosterone tests normally. We can't do that. But meanwhile, I know multiple people who are between 15 and 25 who are born female who want to become male who can do that. That's my big issue with the thing. Also, my other issue with like the getting rid of babies things is like up to 9 months in Vermont. But nobody offers anything to help out people who want to have babies. Like me and the beautiful assistant. Nobody actually gives that shit out. Anyways, Andy Knows is on brand. That Supreme Court hearing on whether it's illegal discrimination to ban medical transitions for minors. Just to be clear, medical transitions for minors means either hormone replacement therapy or surgeries. DI Justice Brown, the same Supreme Court justice who can't tell you what a woman is because she's not a biologist, makes comparison to past laws that banned interracial relationships. I haven't listened to this yet. I just pulled up on my timeline because I thought it would be interesting to play during the show. Let's go.
Being drawn by the statute. That was sort of like the starting point. The question was whether it was discriminatory because it applied to both races and it wasn't, necessarily invidious or whatever. But, as I read the statute here, the case here, the court starts off by saying that Virginia is now one of 16 states which prohibit and punish marriages on the basis of racial classifications.
Yeah, literally, she's comparing giving cross-sex hormones to children who are not allowed to smoke, drink, gamble, or join our military. Which, to be clear, joining the military is a much younger age than being able to drink or smoke. Gamble is the same age, to be fair, but or have decreased insurance costs. Not people who are not allowed to be off their parents' insurance should be able to make these decisions, I guess technically the people who care for them should be allowed to. You're saying that's quite the same as not allowing people of different races to marry. Anyways, let's continue.
And when you look at the structure of that law, it looks in terms of, you can't do something that is inconsistent with your own characteristics. It's sort of the same thing. So it's interesting to me that we now have this different argument, and I wonder whether Virginia could have gotten away with what they did here by just making a classification argument the way that Tennessee is in this case.
Yes, I think that's exactly right, that there is absolutely a parallel between any law that says you can't act inconsistent with a protected characteristic and in all other contexts.
Oh, a protected characteristic. Hold on, we got that covered later on in the show. Anyways, Sour Patch Lids comments. No thanks. Yeah, that's right. Baby Center, a message from our partner Pfizer, studying a new generational vaccine. Paid toddler vaccine study. Find out more. Yeah, that's right, my friends. You could take your newborn baby and take it down and put it in a study Like, I feel like this should be under the same mandate as this shit. Like, you should not be allowed to enroll your fucking child who has no consent. You know, your child is yours. Like, you're not allowed to, like, the child does not have the ability to consent because it's not of the age of majority in the United States. Even though you're the age of majority in the United States, you're not allowed to drink, smoke, or consume recreational cannabis. You are allowed to join up for a military and vote. So there's some contradiction there. I'm sure we'll have to get that shit sorted out at some point because it's becoming very foggy, my friends. But you are able to take that child down and say, hey, you know what? I'll donate my child to science, trademark, quote unquote science TM, unquote, and we'll find out what happens to it. That's mildly mind-boggling. Yeah, here we go. This one is cool. This is
Sonic Boom.
This is a Tesla rocket, to be clear. Hold on. Post from Elon Musk. A Tesla rocket landing and being caught.
Ahí viene. Señores y señoras, ahí viene.
Yeah, I don't know what they're saying in Spanish, to be clear. I'm an American who speaks American.
Ahí viene el booster. Hace con nosotros. Ahí viene el booster.
This thing looks hot, though. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want to be inside that thing. I feel like anybody inside that thing feels like fried chicken right now.
Con nosotros, se los juro.
Vamos, tú puedes.
That being said, this does look like magic. I'm not going to lie. This thing is like one of the most magic things that I've seen on the internet in a long time. Yep, fires out the boosters. Slow it down. Re-entry.
Venga, amigo.
Aquí viene el booster, muchachos. Ahí está la torre. Ahí está la torre.
I didn't listen to it with audio. That's wild. And then jaws just close. That catches it. Like, we can catch rockets coming back in space. That's, wow. Absolutely mind-boggling, my friends. What a crazy time we live in. This one I thought was interesting. Yeah, this happened earlier today. An unnamed person who hasn't been caught assassinated the CEO of what was it, World Health, an insurance company, World Health. I don't know. I'm just a dank magician who talks shit on the internet. But yeah, this guy put a couple shots from a suppressed gun into this guy. It was obviously important. But yeah, they say steal his look. He's got a Prometheus Designs $400 hoodie, a Peak Design everyday 30-liter backpack, 300, 400, 9mm suppressor. I'm probably sure it was probably 45, not gonna lie. So it might have been a little bit more, a little bit less. I don't know. And a Hermes calfskin sneaker, $1,000. Yeah. This is the guy that who took shots at a prominent CEO in New York City and has not been caught yet. Anyways, I'll get to you guys in a second.
There once was a magician named Hickory who wasn't too funny with a belly of tea. Nerves went up, the beers went down, oh boys too drunk for the show. The drunk and underwhelmings come to trick you with cards and steal your rum. One day when your show is done, you'll have to pay him to leave and go. Not 10 minutes for his next pour. The keg went dry, he went to the store. Didn't have the ale he had gotten before, so from craft to crap we go. Drunk and underwhelmings come to trick you with cards and steal your rum. One day when his whiskey water. He tried to harpoon the barkeep's daughter. He found out, reclaimed the drinks he bought her. How could he stoop that low? Drunk and underwhelming scum to trick you with cause and steal your rum. One day when his show is done, off the pants you leave and go. No strings attached, the magician was freed. He had a mind full of filth and greed. He belonged to the magician's creed, but he's too drunk for the show. Drunk and underwhelming scum to trick you with cause and steal your rum. One day when his show is done, he'll have to pay him to leave and go. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. 40 nights or even more. The crowd went slack, then they laughed once more. All the beers were lost, he was down to 4. Where did those kegs go? Drunk and underwhelming scum to trick you with cause and steal your rum. One day when his show is done, off the pants you leave and go. As I've heard, this show's...
Yeah, that's right. The show's still on. Mission's just all drunk, and the crowd's not gone. This one. Yeah, Phil Labonte reposted, the Biden admin is likely the most corrupt administration in U.S. history. From Politico, Biden White House is discussing preemptive pardons for those in Trump's crosshairs. Let's see what we got here. President Joe Biden's senior aides are conducting a vigorous internal debate over whether to issue preemptive pardons. Yeah, not even him. Just people around him. Because that's where we're at right now. We got a president who can't really president because he likes to fall asleep at inappropriate times and is not really doing what he's doing. And apparently the vice president's been doing that, but then she went campaigning and spent $1.5 billion. Because why wouldn't you, right? If you're going to run a 107-day campaign or whatever it was. Yeah, fact check me, bitches. Why would you not spend $1.5 billion in 107 days and end up broke or in debt? More in debt than most average Americans have ever been was the Kamala campaign. Former political officials who've been targeted. President-elect Donald Trump returned to the White House, according to senior Democrats familiar with discussions. It's funny because I heard some people talking about at work earlier who were clearly misinformed by mainstream media, and we're talking about how Trump is so spiteful. He'll definitely go after the president's ex-son. And all I could think was like, y'all motherfuckers are so blind. You can't see that Trump already got impeached for trying to investigate the shit that Joe Biden pardoned his son for. Because y'all are trying to pretend that Joe Biden pardoned his son for just the tax crime and the gun crime. And even though you'd be screaming about any conservative who got pardoned for illegally signing a gun rights paper, which, don't get me wrong, I don't really care. I don't think that any American who isn't locked in a cage for a criminal offense should not be able to buy a firearm. But I do think if you come from the political side that says anybody who's been locked in a cage shouldn't buy a firearm, and then that person lies on their form, like, yeah, they're like the prime example of people who should be convicted of this. Like, it's the meme of people who vote left should have to live by their policies, and the people who vote red should have to live by theirs and taxes, and vice versa. Because I see a bunch of people being like, "Oh, I don't care about gun crimes anymore," and I'm like, dude, you're literally supporting the party that would love to take guns away from, like legally owning Americans. And now all of a sudden it's not a big deal because the president's son is a fucking scumbag. And got popped with one, and an egregious one, where he lied on his background check, and then his girlfriend at the time, i.e., his dead brother's wife, who shouldn't have been caught up with the scumbag to begin with, because I am, as much as I think the Biden family is just a giant mafia. To be clear, I don't think Beau had a whole lot to do with this. Like, I think Beau was honestly a guy who loved his country and wanted to serve, and he went through some awful shit, and he died not overseas like our president would insinuate, but because of the shit he dealt with overseas, probably burn pits, like Jon Stewart's been calling out. That being said, Jon Stewart's kind of flipped lately, which is interesting. But yeah, no, it's interesting that we're gonna see Biden pardon a bunch of people on a bunch of shit, as we saw from the first one. He rolled it out with with Hunter. That it doesn't really matter. Like, apparently presidential pardons rules don't matter anymore. Like, you used to have to be pardoned for a crime that you were at least accused of or charged with. Probably charged with, because like accused of just means like the media accused you of this, or this person accused you of this. Charged means like the law, i.e. the state or the feds, actually like took the accusation seriously and were willing to pursue charges. And most presidential pardons on people who have been sentenced and served their terms, i.e. a lot of the people that I see them comparing Trump's pardons to, have already like served their not served their term, but like paid their debt to society. Meanwhile, Biden just issued a blanket statement from 2014 to 2024 over his son. And that happens to be the same time that there's an entire House document outlining all the shady connections that this kid had. And this kid, I mean, he was like 40 something in that time, but still an intellectual child who was swinging around a decent sized dick, a lot of money, some crack cocaine, and probably trafficking people, allegedly. I don't want them to come after me before the House, or before the president swaps. We'll see how that goes. That's going to be interesting on its own right. But yeah, apparently they're urging Biden to issue a bunch of pardons for a bunch of these fucking scumbags, including Fauci. Just to be clear, they're sweating bullets that he nominated Kash Patel to lead the FBI. Like, absolutely sweating bullets. And to be clear, those are the same bullets they would lock you up for if you were a Democratic staffer or a Republican staffer and he walked in the House building for. Yeah, they're sweating those, which happened recently. It was a House aide that got arrested for having some ammo in his bag, which, just saying, like, what kind of idiot do you have to be to leave ammo in a bag that you take to work? Like, the one time I've flown, to be clear, it was like 2017. I was on a work trip. I got flown to San Francisco. I attended some very nice spots. I drank as much as I could on the company dime. It was San Francisco, so there wasn't like we went to a dispensary, which was kind of cool. Able to bring a few things back, i.e. the edibles. Very cool. Very awesome of the company I work for in private life to do that. I got to go to an awesome food award ceremony and an awesome food show. Like, one that I most likely will never be able to replicate in my lifetime. Absolutely amazing. But the fact that I got paid to go out there and represent the company and do awesome once in a lifetime shit. It was. Like, it was once in a lifetime. There's the only photo you'll ever see of me in front of the San Francisco Bay Bridge. In fact, I gotta do that. Meanwhile, there's some scumbag out there who, this was quote unquote, this was at great expense to the company that I worked for, just to be clear. Like, they footed the bill for our plane and our hotel and food and drink. And don't get me wrong, I took advantage of it because I'm one of those people that's like, if I'm in this position, like, you tell me that, like, I can drink as many beers as I can responsibly, to be clear. Because I'm still on the company dime. Like, I don't want to abuse it. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll get some beers to the room. I can source that. I'm not an idiot. But I can go out there and just eat and drink on the company dole. Do that. And that's amazing. But that's a private company with a single owner who paid me to do that because he trusted that I would come back with more knowledge and be able to run my department more efficiently and more and just better. Like, that I would learn enough that it would be worth for them to invest that. I.e., they assumed it was like an education type event. It's incredible. And I'm forever grateful because that was like one of those things that I'll never forget. Even if I wasn't 100% in love with the people that I went with, I still had a great time. And Jen, not that you'll ever see this because you would never watch a show as based as fucking this. Thank you, because I had a great time out in San Francisco with you. And saw some shit and realized that, this is what's coming to here. But I never would have done that on a government dole. To be clear, I never, unless the government approached me and was like, hey, we're putting together a group of meat and seafood leaders from across the country who are really great in their field. And I would have been like, well, of course, I'm probably in the top 1% in my field, in the state, and maybe New England. I'm not trying to shit on any of the other people that run meat and seafood departments in the state of New England. I'm just saying that Hickory out of suit is doing fucking awesome. Even if I ordered way too many turkeys than I should have this past year. But if the government came to me and said that shit, like, I'd be a little bit curious. Like, I'd be a little bit nervous. Like, it's not the company I work for, man. It's the government. Especially if my dad worked for the government. I.e., my dad was vice president. I don't know if I would hop on Air Force Two like 20 plus fucking times and fly out to foreign countries to do deals with them on my private shit. And not even my private shit, like the business that I work for. Like, my private business, not my private shit. Like, it wouldn't be me like going out there to do deals to work out me getting like a better source on creatine for myself, or like working out a deal to get some like great imported Chinese beer, some great Chinese weed, even though I'm sure that doesn't exist because, communism and shit, that's totally a capitalist thing. But for me to be flown out on a government plane, especially one as vetted, honorable, and interesting as Air Force Two, like, I don't know if I'd do that. Like, if somebody said, hey man, you want to jump on this government plane and fly to China to work out some private equity deals between you and some Chinese operatives. Because let's be clear, there's nobody that runs a business in China that like actually runs a business for themselves. Like, it's the Chinese government top down. It's almost like the USDA is here, but worse. Like if you run a meat packing facility in the US, I don't know if everybody knows this, and be fair, most people who watch this show don't know or don't give a shit or will never see this. Or most general people will never see this. But you have to, if you run a USDA inspected meat packing facility and you process chickens, turkeys, pork, I'm sure it goes out to veal and turkeys and all sorts of other shit. All sorts of other animals that we harvest for food in the US that are specifically raised for food. If you run one of those facilities that kills and processes those animals for regular sale, which there's quite a few, most people don't really love to think about it, but as somebody who works in the industry, like that's without those people, like I don't have a job. I don't have the ability. I can't run TDAU live. Like I'm a homeless dude with a house that costs way too much trying to support a wife. Like that's what I am without the killing and sale of animals. But you have to pay for an office. You have to have an office for a USDA employee, and then you have to pay their fucking salary. Even though they're not really your employee, they're just there to make sure like things are going right. And like that doesn't offend me that much. On the flip side, that's mildly communistic because like as far as a Chinese company goes, you have to do the same shit, except it's not a USDA employee. It is a employee of China who's on a board to make sure that you represent the interests of the Chinese government. I don't know how I got there, but yeah, the fact that there's a kid flying on Air Force Two, and kid, I mean, a 35, 40-year-old scumbag who loves drugs, underage girls, and prostitutes, allegedly. Or just got a mild pardon, so like, who cares what I says about him? Like, can he even bring a defamation case now? Like, that's a whole nother interesting level. One of the interesting parts I see online is that all these people are saying, hey, now that he has been pardoned, he has no Fifth Amendment right. So if he's brought in front of Congress, he's actually got to testify. And if not, and he just says, I can't remember 200 times, he can be charged with obstructing justice, which would be very, very interesting. But I do expect to see pardons for Biden's brother, at least a couple other people. Anyways, we're going to get back into the article. This is from column on Politico. Here we go. Joe Biden's senior aides are conducting a vigorous internal debate over whether to issue preemptive pardons to a range of current and former public officials could be targeted when the president-elect Donald Trump returned to the White House. Yeah, because, they'd totally be scared if they didn't have, like, massive illegal shit to hide, but the media is going to present it like Trump is just a fucking dictator, because that's what they've been doing for the past, I don't know, 10 years now? Mind-boggling. Biden's aides are deeply concerned about a range of current and former officials could find themselves facing inquiries and even indictments. Yeah, as they should. Anybody who told you to wear 2 masks because it worked better in your house should be. Because they have affected the people that I still see wearing masks in their fucking car today. And just the amount of emotional trauma they have caused upon the modern day public, let alone disseminated that shit to their mainstream media buddies, is mind-boggling. As we can see, the MSM is mildly dilapidated right now. They're caving. They're funneling money where they can, but they are just collapsing. I mean, Morning Joe has so few ratings, they're not even ranked in the top 10 anymore. Yeah. America's coming back, my friends. And this is what these people are fucking scared to death of. is it's the fact that accountability will be held. And I hope it is. Like, I hope I'm not wrong. I really, really, really hope I'm not wrong on all this shit and that people actually get held accountable. Because if not, if Fauci isn't held accountable for the amount of lies and bullshit that he's perpetrated in the past since COVID started, if none of these scumbags are held accountable, like, that's really it, man. We've, like, called the cap on America. Like, and that's what I don't think a lot of these left people realize is they keep talking about, like, how awful it's going to be when Trump targets these people and how it's revenge and he needs to get it, he needs to get his, he needs to be the dictator and jail Fauci and Navarro and, like, or maybe not, can't remember. Yeah, Fauci and Levine and all these people who are at top level positions who have been spouting this bullshit, been telling you to wear 2 masks, who have been claiming that 6 feet in 15 days, that was Trump to be fair, but 6 feet is safe, and all this bullshit they made up through COVID. They just made it up. Like, it's fucking, somebody came up with it and they started to spout it, and now it's mainstream news, and, like, that was the shit. Like, we don't care about facts. We're here to be about feelings. But the fact that they're concerned about all those people getting indicted, being investigated under future Trump regime, is them basically saying, if we were the Biden administration, the same thing happened. Those are all the fucking people we'd go after and would hammer them and would put them in jail for unnecessarily lengths, just like we did to Steve Bannon and Michael Flynn. And we put them, we just put them in jail on the fact that they did contempt of court because they didn't really think that, like, Steve Bannon thought his speech was protected as executive privilege. But meanwhile, he went to jail for 2 years. Like, if Trump was really going to load the hammer down, like, he'd do that shit at a minimum. Like, that's a minimum. Like, that's been established. That's political edict at this point. You take all of the people who refused to testify against the former administration and you throw them in jail for 2 years. Like, that's just what we do now. You also pardon people who just have no business deserving a pardon. And this is the precedent you've set, Joe Biden. You have set the precedent of an administration who falls asleep, who checks his watch while soldiers are getting delivered in American flag covered coffins after giving the ultimate sacrifice overseas for shit, for prosperity they'll never see. You have greenlit the Justice Department to go after your political enemies. You've had the second or third ranking DOJ member step down, becoming part of the New York, become part of New York's prosecution unit, even though they shouldn't have politically or career-wise, just so they can step down, i.e. Alvin Bragg, and go after Trump. You've done all this, my friend. You have elected a DEI presidential nominee who's trash, who has no record, who couldn't run on her own. Then you got cooed by them, my friend. That's right. The same people that you put up on a fucking pedestal through a coup. And here we are. This might just be the dank ramblings of a dank magician. But I feel like there's a lot of truth to the words I speak this evening. And yeah, to be clear, who knows? We'd probably do one more show and then call it for the year. I'm not going to lie. But lots of interesting shit going on. And yeah, lots of pardons being weighed. Fauci gets a pardon, I'm gonna be pissed. Not gonna lie. Oh, this one. The chicken or the egg. Because there's still news articles written about it. What came first? Scientists may have finally cracked the billion-year-old chicken or the egg mystery. Chicken or the egg mystery has long puzzled humanity, posing a seemingly unanswerable question about the origins of life and evolution. Bum, bum, bum. Now, scientists may have uncovered the answer deep in Earth's evolutionary history. Unicellular, yeah, like the company that carries your internet and your phone. A unicellular organism called Crossmafera perkinsey. Yeah, that's where we're going. Perkinsey. It's provided groundbreaking clues as to the genetic programming required for egg formulation. The discovery suggests the process necessary for creating eggs existed more than 1 billion years ago, long before chickens or even animals emerged. The revelation not only addressed the ancient conundrum, but also sheds light on how life transitioned from single-celled organisms to the complex, multicellular forms we know today. Yeah, and there's lots of information, including this chick's butt, on here. But to be honest, if you ever wanted to answer the question, all you had to go over to is Google or Microsoft or wherever you do your searches and search chicken or egg because of lizards. The answer is the chicken's earliest reptilian ancestor, dating back millions of years before dinosaurs evolved, may not have laid eggs, previously thought. Lizards which are the ancestors of chickens, did not lay eggs. Chickens, we recognize them today, originated from an animal called the red jungle fowl about 10,000 years ago. And eggs have been around for much longer. According to evolutionary theory, the egg came first. That's right, my friends. You found it here first. Anybody who's visited the Franklin Zoo in Boston would know. The egg definitely came first. That's definitely an interesting thing. Emma's mother died. Debbie Nelson died at age 69. A meme-worthy age, but it makes me wonder if the former top 40 artist Eminem is still saying, "Fuck you, Debbie!" I don't know. And to be fair, I don't care. It was just an article that popped up, and that was the bit I wanted to do. Oh, did we get through the... Yeah, we got some fun ones. This was stuff from the Supreme Court hearing today on whether transgender children should be allowed, quote unquote, transgender children should be allowed to have surgery, and how that, if that's a human right and that's protected by the Constitution. Oh, I got a comment. Hold on, let me check. Might be something worth sharing. He does normally come through. Yeah. That's a solid meme. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull that bitch up. That's what happens. People DM me shit during the show. It becomes part of the show. That's my cousin. Oh, goddamn. I actually got to message him back real quick. That's from Perk Angle. Yeah, no, he said that Hunter used to cover the sledgehammer with his hand, do a slightly different crack, but this one, woo! I don't know what the paper this is from. Hold on, behind this. Triple H angry, Dr. Memes, Attitude Era. By God. Yeah, I didn't mean to share the message. Oh shit. There we go. Let's share that. How do I get rid of that? Get rid of that. We're gonna share a shot with a sledgehammer. This is Triple H on the Giant. I think Big Show, as we know him today. I don't know. I'm not. Have I missed everything? Sean, the most important thing you missed was. Let me see if I have that still pulled up. Just to be clear. The most important thing you missed looked like this. Yeah, that was the most important one. But yeah, no, there's been, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna lie, there's been more important shit I've talked about on the show. I've ranted on Hunter Biden's pardon for a while now. Scuttlebutt I've heard is they're going to pardon now she and all who were involved in the pandemic. Yeah, that's and Fauci. I ranted about that a bit earlier about how they're gonna pardon anybody who had anything to do with anything. But yeah, that was the most important thing you did not miss was this. Yep, not gonna lie, that was a moment that just came out. It just became a thing. I didn't mean it to. I am going to excuse myself for just a second. A little magician's room, but I'll be right back.
There once was a magician named Hickory who wasn't too funny with a belly of tea. Nerves went up, the beers went down. Oh, boys too drunk for the show. The drunk and underwhelming scum to trick you with cards and steal your rum. One day when your show is done, you'll have to pay him to leave and go. Not 10 minutes for his next pour. The keg went dry, he went to the store. Didn't have the ale he had gotten before, so from craft to crap we go. Drunk and underwhelming scum to trick you with cards and steal your rum. One day when his show is done, you'll have to pay him to leave and go. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. Boy was served his whiskey water. He tried to harpoon the barkeep's daughter. He found out, reclaimed the drinks he bought her. How could he stoop that low? Drunk and underwhelming scum to trick you with cards and steal your rum. One day when his show is done, I'll have to pay him to leave and go. No strings attached, the magician was freed. He had a mind full of filth and greed. He belonged to the magician's creed, but he's too drunk for the show. Drunk and underwhelming scum to trick you with cards and steal your rum. One day when his show is done, you'll have to pay him to leave and go. La da 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 da, la da 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 da, la da 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 da. 40 nights or even more. The crowd went slack, then they laughed once more. All the beers were lost, he was down to 4. Where did those kegs go? Drunk and underwhelming scum to trick you with cards and steal your rum. One day when his show is done, I'll have to pay him to leave and go. As I've heard, this show's still on. The magician's still drunk and the crowd's not gone. The magician makes his regular call to encourage the drunks, the wizards and all. Drunk and underwhelming scum to trick you with cards and steal your rum. One day when his show...
Yeah, thank you, Sean. It's really a big honor and awesome. And I would have been soaked either way, to be quite clear. Just that I'm gonna bring a child into this world, which is not something I confidently could have said 3 years ago. That was about when the point clicked in my brain. And I'm happy that we're going to be bringing them into a world that isn't, communist and shit. By the looking of the future. God said the hit in front of the Hilton today. It was only beginning. Yeah, that was one. Hold on, I think I brought up. I did talk about that earlier, about how the hit was that gentleman was very well dressed and happened to have on $6,000 designer gear, which probably means he's not. Hold on, I think I got that one pulled up. That's just my normal post bookmarks over here. Right? Oh, right there. There's the steal his look. The Prometheus Designs hoodie for $400. The Peak Design Everyday 30 liter, $300. The Espresso rate $850, and the sneakers for $1,000. So to me, this is a position that he used to hold that interests me. Multiple levels on that one, my friend. Like whether we're talking about the ridiculous shit on the mainstream or not. The gentleman with the firearm is seeking retribution or silence. Yeah, like I don't know. Interesting. I don't believe somebody this well organized and this well funded was on his own accord. Just to be clear, I don't want to peddle conspiracies on the show, but yeah, we got this one. Man gives town 7-foot middle finger and they can't remove it. Some Stick shared this saying, "We Vermonters do it better." Let's see what this is about. Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about the backstory, but I assume Western Vermont deserves this. Just being clear, because I assume anybody in Vermont deserves this for probably telling you can't put up something on your property and then you looking through the laws and seeing that you can. I mean, that sounds like a totally fair. Oh, no sound. Okay. Sorry, I thought I had sound there shared. Go back just a smidgen. Which sounds very Vermont, right? Like you own this property and you're not allowed to do shit with it because they said you weren't. And they came up with some bullshit excuse because we live in a social shithole where you're not allowed to do things with your own property that you own, even though you have to pay the government a lot of money. And they're going to raise your taxes on it this year. They're going to raise your taxes on it next year, which is why they only raised it a little bit this year. Which is really interesting because I think that should be a lot of red pilling to people. Because I have people that complain to me at work who are clearly the Kamala Waltz hat wearing type who came in with their bullshit camo hats with the orange print on it. And we're so proud to vote for that future administration. We're so excited that they could vote for literal communism in the U.S. And I live in a state where there's people, unfortunately, dealing with this. Yeah, lights are trained on it 24/7, boys. This is how you do it. This is how you say fuck you in the government. This dude is based as fuck, and I'm proud that this guy comes from Vermont. I'm not gonna lie. This is dope. That's right. We should be working on funding this so that other people can erect them. Erect them. Erect them? Erect them in their yards. That would be dope.
Oxford Select Board wouldn't say much since they're anticipating a court hearing. The process would be the same with or without the Pelkey's recent sculpture. Turns out the law can't lay a finger on Ted because his finger is considered public art.
Yeah, that's right. Art, bitches. Welcome. Welcome to fighting the battle that has been fought by the mainstream for a while. Like, oh no, this is art. You can't say anything about that. It's only Kathy Griffin holding a severed head of the current president. That's art. Let's go.
Really made me feel warm and fuzzy.
Oh, the TikTok logo at the end. Love Vermont. Yep. We got this one. This is Biden.
Had launched an attack on Iran without.
Watch 2007. This from Thomas Massey on. Sean said, wrecked him, burnt near, killed him. Yeah, that's right. Classic, my friend. Classic. Thomas Massey sharing this video. Watch 2007 video of Senator Joe Biden clarifying that 2024 President Joe Biden has committed an impeachable offense by authorizing U.S. supplied and targeted missiles to attack the sovereign country of Russia.
But I want to ask you about something you've been involved with. You said that if the President of the United States had launched an attack on Iran without congressional approval, that would have been an impeachable offense. Do you want to review that comment you made? Well, how do you stand on that now?
Yes,
do you think
I do. I want to stand by that comment I made. The reason I made the comment was as a warning. The reason I don't say those things lightly, Chris. You've known me for a long time. I was chairman of the Judiciary Committee for 17 years, or its ranking member. I teach separation of powers and constitutional law. This is something I know. So I got together and brought a group of constitutional scholars together to write a piece that I'm going to deliver to the whole United States Senate, pointing out the president has no constitutional authority.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh, Joe Biden from 2007 is ragging on Joe Biden from 2024 pretty hard right now.
To take this nation to war against a country of 70 million people unless we're attacked or unless there is proof that we are about to be attacked. And if he does, I would move to impeach him. The House obviously has to do that, but I would lead an effort to impeach him. The reason for my doing that, I don't say it lightly.
He would impeach him. To be clear, 2007 Biden would impeach 2024 Biden.
I don't say it lightly. I say it because they should understand that what they were threatening, what they were saying, what was adding up to be, what looked like to the rest of the world what we're about to do, would be the most disastrous thing that could be done at this moment in our history that I can think of.
Yeah, spoken like a true based patriot, right? Joe Biden in 2007.
But I want to ask you.
Saying it now, he would have been considered far right. This was a fun meme. Joe never knew Jim Carrey would contradict what he said back then. Oh, well done, Sean. That comment should be up for longer. Holy shit, that's a good one. Oh, that's too good. This is an affirmation post. Okay, maybe you should pay attention. Paul Baker. If you ever feel useless, remember it took 20 years, $3 trillion, and 4 U.S. presidents to replace the Taliban with the Taliban. Just another testament to how Joe Biden did. This one. This is modern because somebody said this to me recently. Like, oh my God, if we deport everybody, who's gonna pick all the food? And I was like, yeah, I don't think the people in New York who aren't working, who are just receiving government money, are actually doing any work, so they wouldn't matter. Let's ship them back. Like, oh my God, but who? If we don't have illegal immigrants, who will pick our food? Like, yeah, I think we'll figure that out with legal people, or we'll have a great overhaul in the next 10 years that are of AI, of computers, of robots, something. Because, I mean, there was a time where people were like, oh no, the horse poop is there's gonna be so much horse shit in the streets of New York that we'll never be able to figure it out. It's gonna be an issue. We got to figure this out now. And then somebody developed the car, and that all went away. This is the modern day version of that in the 1850s, but without slaves. Who will pick the crops? Who will pick the cotton? 2020, but without illegal immigration, who will pick the crops? Who will pick the food? So that's where we're at now, my friends. We have so many inmates in America that are used to throwing hoes. Maybe they should be our gardeners. Some of them hoes are employees of the state. Not gonna lie, I've seen a lot of videos of cheeks getting clapped of employees of the institutions where they're supposed to be protecting. Hooking up with people who are locked behind bars. Not going to get too deep into that because we are on the YouTubes. This one, I think I covered like a week or two, maybe 3 weeks ago. But just bears minding. This is one of the quote unquote greatest artists of our time. One of the greatest songwriters. A chick has come out for losing. Has gotten shit on for losing weight recently. This is how Lizzo holds a pen. Yeah. One of the greatest songwriters of our time, my friends, holds a pen like they have never been through elementary school. Here we go. Like, what kind of pen grip is that? Like, I realize that mine sucks. Like, I hold my pen like I'm at like a second or third grade level. And like I've written some shit. Some scripts, some songs, a lot of stuff going on. But that is just holy shit. Next level that a prominent songwriter in our time. It's written a song like, written her notes like that. It's just fucking crazy, my friends. John said we should really only have 56 days until we're on parole from prison. The inauguration is just both throttling. Yeah, we'll see. I know it's gotten better. It's got like that's the crazy part, right? Like Trump's not even in office and things are getting better. And who knows? I don't know. I'm probably gonna do like one more show this year. Maybe two. I don't know. It depends how shit goes. But next week very well might be the last week of TDAU Live for this year. Because as I've looked, the calendar pulls up. Yeah. It's the the 11th. Is next Wednesday. The 18th. So the next two could be a thing that happened. But then the following one's Christmas Day and New Year's Day. I just don't imagine me streaming those days just because of the shit going on in my personal life. I'm going to keep stealing until cops show up, so to speak. And even then, they might keep stealing, and, the cops will book them and then exonerate them. It's a big bag of who knows. Ugh. Sorry. I've been tired. The asshole who rates my schedule at work has put me on 6 days the past 2 weeks. And I'm not a fan. And to be fair, the asshole that writes my schedule is me. And yeah, not a fan. I think I will share a song I've been working on since then. God, I don't know if I should share this one. I don't know. I'll share a second or two of it because nobody's listening at this point. Said, isn't this the Chinese year of pardon? Or is the year of the snakes? Could be the same thing, my friend. The Chinese year of based fucking babies, though, because mine will be born in June. And it'll be very interesting to raise a child in the time of woke that is not woke. But I also feel like the woke mainstream is receding. Yeah. So this has been fun. This is Jakey Poo and I's next single. We're gonna do a cover. Uncle Dad is gonna do a cover. There might be some other covers that come up on this album. We'll see. I also got a bunch of tracks I've been working on and stuff that's going on. But yeah, we're gonna do 3 Small Words by Josie and the Pussycats. Sean said, my newest grandkid will be born April 23rd. Oh, nice. We got to do date June 29th. So close, Sean. I also know a couple of their parents that are due at the same time. And my biggest question is, why have you not fucking left the state yet? Why have you not gone where the pastures are greener? Anyways, it's a very rough vocal recording from Kyle from Uncle Dad with Jakey Poo. 3 Small Words. Josie and the Pussycat song.
I'm a punk rock from Queen, brown paper magazine, hotter than you've ever seen, everywhere in between. I'm a 10 to get through the ride, don't you wanna come inside? A 5-star triple threat, hard to step the heart again, no one's the work of wit, ain't seen nothing like me yet. Took 6 whole hours and 5 long days for all your lies to come undone. Those 3 small words were way too late, 'cause you can't see that I'm the one.
Yeah, just a sneak peek of what's gonna come out, because that song's gonna be dope when it's finished. Not gonna lie. With Jakey Poo's guitar and bass on that one, we're banging it out. W1. Yeah. I don't know what I should share after that. There's something we've been working on lately. On my Twitter feed. Yep, by the White House gonna clear everybody who's on Trump's quote-unquote crosshairs. Because nothing about that screams like these people did something wrong. We need to give them pardons so they can get out of jail safe. Chickens. Reshaving chicken. Biology. Eminem mom. Mukbangs I've been watching. Those bookmarks. Let's see what if there's anything out of here. Is that amazing nutcracker on your shoulder, Hickory, included, or is he there all the time? No, he's this nutcracker I bought at Michael's and painted myself and built a hat for. No, he's here. If I do some more shows, I will put up the holiday tree as well. I do have a mini tree that's part of the set normally, but I've been kind of behind on it. But yeah, no, he's a custom painted Nutcracker and hickory colors with the hickory hat that I custom built for him. Major drama on Timcast IRL between Tim and Ian Crossland. 54 seconds ago. Hold on, let's check this. Oh, I gotta pull this up. Who knows? This could be a troll.
Can I throw?
That's it, Tim! I'm fucking done!
Oh, there's a Ian, you son of a bitch!
Oh no!
Can I throw?
That's it, Tim! I'm fucking done!
Oh, there's a
That was awesome. Was that decoy voice in the background there? Just to be clear. It looks like it. If decoy voice is on Timcast IRL tonight, I'm gonna be pissed that I didn't see that. Because that does look like decoy voice, which would be dope. Like, I'd be stoked for him if he was on. But yeah, we got a Timcast video of Tim freaking out on Ian. Jonathan, I think this could be true. I was watching before he came on. Possibly. I don't know. That's what I would be watching if I weren't live tonight, to be fair. Timcast. And then I'd probably zoom in and out, and I would watch some stuff depending on what else my interests were that night. Because sometimes they have conversations and I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna watch some some fitness stuff, or I'm gonna watch some stuff over here. But yeah, regardless, speaking of fitness stuff, the goal for basically tomorrow on forward is to go back on plan. To get on diet to maintain that shit through March. Probably drop another 40 pounds in that timeline, and get swole to the point where I can just wear the vest on the show. That would really behoove me. It is on the edge of breakdown, in my opinion. I enjoy about 50% of the time. Yeah, that's fair. I feel like that's totally a fair take on Timcast and Ian as a whole. I would say I enjoy him about 25% of the time. There's a lot of times where he's there to point out and be the opposition. On the flip side, sometimes he just completely derails conversations, which I can't say that I would do if I was there. And someday, hopefully, in the future, TDAU Live will do well enough to get brought down to Virginia. I'm sure I'll have to pay my own travel expenses and go do that shit. But it'd be awesome to be either on the Timcast IRL or the Culture World podcast. That'd be dope. But until then, I'm just going to keep doing my thing, grinding, and yeah, putting out some new Molasses songs this coming year. Because I basically, since the Lawn Ranger, Molasses has been absent. And I apologize for that, my friends. It's not something I did on purpose. There has been a lot of bangers, and I've just been waiting for people to get back to me, to be straight, because there's some fucking fire songs we've been working on. I'm just waiting on people to get back. BBD has that opposition on this show that drives me nuts. I find it to be a total distraction, a waste of time. Patrick Bet David. Yeah. Chris Cuomo, specifically. I assume that's who you're talking about. And yeah, no, I totally agree. That it's just annoying. It just gets in the way of you having a rational conversation. And it's completely irritating. But yeah, a song like this is one I could have dropped this past year, but nobody hit me back to collaborate. So if you want to, write a verse and send it in to me. This is track 3.
Can you believe that
Couch
kind
song.
of shit, man? Chick walks into her life, she's like, I don't like your fucking couch, dude. You need to get rid of that couch. It's the couch or me. I'm like, it's the couch or you? Who the fuck do you think you are? I'll miss you less than I miss this couch. You can shut your fucking mouth. I'll miss you less than I miss this couch. We won't endure like the
Sean said that guy that always sits on this right all by himself. Definitely, yes, definitely. Chris Cuomo was a foil on the ass of that show. Yeah. He almost ruined it for me, dude. Like, I have a hard time watching PBD with Chris Cuomo on it. Yeah, I have a hard time watching PBD because of Chris Cuomo now. And yeah, no, I kind of feel like Ian's like that role once in a while. Where I'm like, dude, if I had that guy on the show, I would just fucking stop. I gotta do the show solo like Tim does. Or Deco Voice, which I hope he's on. Like, I really, really hope Deco Voice is on Timcast right now, because I would love to watch that episode of Timcast. But it's mind-boggling how these shows try to, like, reach across the aisle. And it just makes them fucking unwatchable. Because to be fair, the left side is unwatchable, and that's why they don't have their own shows that are doing well. That's why they're all like, oh my god, I wish I had Rogan, or I wish I had Tim Pool. And it's like, motherfuckers, you had Rogan and Tim Pool. But you've gone on. Sean said, yes, Decoy Voice was the guest tonight. Motherfucker, why is it that always on Wednesdays, the night that I do my show, that I like is like the one guest that I wish I had saw on Timcast. Like I didn't need to watch Cenk Uygur last night. Like I watched like, I don't know, probably like 40% of it, and then I watched some other shit and went to bed. But like the fact they come with Decoy on the night, it's always Wednesdays, man. It's always Wednesdays that has the guest that I want to see. It's infuriating. It's not his fault. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't know about the show. To be fair, Tim, if you ever see this show, fuck you. Stop putting base-ass guests on Wednesdays. How about that? Do like a woke guest on Wednesday that nobody gives a shit about. And then Tuesday and Thursday, put somebody based on. Like that would be wonderful. That would definitely that would work for me very, very well. Okay, one last one. This is Fall Boy. This is a country song I'm working on. Probably gonna go through like 3 or 4 more edits before it comes out. But yeah, this is Sean said last night's with Cenk Uygur was nearly impossible to hang in and watch. Yeah, I got through like 45 minutes, maybe. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go watch some fitness related content and then go to sleep. That's how I do. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna watch some videos about studies that are boring as hell and fall asleep, because that's me on a normal night. This is Tall Boy. Still working on this. I'm not sure if I like it or not.
I've never been a slim line, and I've never been real tall, but I wish I was on your fingertips when you're headed from the store to the truck. I could be your fatty, your ice cold natty daddy, 'cause I'm usually running about 8%, like I don't give a fuck. Wish you'd at least pack me on ice, press me to your lips when you're feeling nice. But baby, I know you got your hands full with the wheel, your joint and the stick. I'll be there for you when you get home, when you got no one else, you feel alone. I've been trying to figure out what to say, hope I don't sound like a dick. Baby, I wish we were just riding around, slinging country brown all over this town. I could be in your cup, hold
right now.
The way you press me against your lips, hold me in between your fingertips. On a summer night like this, I just wish I was a tall boy. Wish I was a tall boy. Wish I was a tall boy. Tall boy. Just wish I was a tall boy.
Yeah. So, no, working on that. Not sure if it's the one. Anyways, Sean, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you. I love you. And yeah, we'll probably be live next week. Week after is a gamble. And the 2 weeks after, probably a hard no. We'll see what happens. Anyways, that's all I got until we get at it. And so we get here on next week. That's thank you very much for being here, Sean. Anybody else who tuned in here on Rumble, YouTube, or Facebook? I'm, of course, Hickory the Dank Underwhelming. I appreciate you guys. Each and everybody comments, likes, subscribes, and feeds the algorithm. And let's base Chad, a base Chad magician like me, talk my shit on the internet. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. But I do genuinely need to get out of here. Before we go, Sean said, I hope Santa brings you everything you desire. Have a great night. He brought me a boy baby. That's ironically enough, up until 3 years ago, that was not something I ever wanted, and now I'm stoked. Yeah, we can discuss that later on. But yeah, until next time, thank you guys. Stay safe, stay dank, stay underwhelming. Most importantly, it's trying times. Stay sane. Try not to kill your neighbor. See you guys next week. Cheers. Dank Magician out.
Above all else, I just want to say thank you. Have a beautiful night. Drunk Magician out.